Some of you think that remote jobs don't pay well or that you have to give up benefits like health insurance in order to work remotely. But if that's what you think, there's a kind of company you haven't heard about yet. I am Andrea, Valeria, and we're gonna be talking about all things remote work around here with a little sprinkle of lifestyle and travel and a big side of personal growth. Remote work can usually get a bad rep because people think that in order to work remotely, you have to be like finding your own clients and be a freelancer, but that is not always how it's going to be. Remote jobs can actually be pretty stable. As a freelancer, sometimes your income can go up and down, and that's when you start to worry that it's not stable, right? But what I would like everyone to know is that working remotely can also mean having a full-time or part-time remote job. So it would be just like having a traditional job, but you do it online. You would work for a company, you would get a salary, you would even get benefits, so it wouldn't be up and down and it would be stable. And the good news about working remotely for an employer or for a company is that that is usually the easiest way to get started working remotely. But how do you find the companies that are really good and that are legit and that will like offer the best benefits and perks? If that's what you're looking for, here is a term that you have to learn. It is remote first. Those are the companies that offer the best work-life balance. They operate from different countries globally. They offer competitive salaries, benefits, and the best and coolest perks. So if you ever see that a company is remote first, that is the kind of company that you'd like to work for. That's the kind of company I would like to work for if I was looking for a remote job nowadays. So what is so special about them? Well, first of all, remote first companies are fully remote. And what exactly does that mean? Well, I actually made a video that you can go and watch after watching this one, where I explain exactly what it means to be fully remote or hybrid or work from home, all the different kinds of setups of remote work. In a remote first companies, all the employees in the company are remote. Whether they want to work from home or while traveling, that's their business. As long as you have Wi-Fi and a laptop and you can do your job, you can do it from anywhere, they don't care. These companies are called remote first because the company values and the policies are all centered around remote work. They're made specifically for remote work. They're not just offering remote work as like an option. Remote first companies are all about the work-life balance. They are going to have flexible schedules. Their employees can make their own schedules. Sometimes they're even async. Async stands for asynchronous, and that means that if the company has asynchronous communication, they're not expecting you to respond immediately if they email you, for example. They won't be connected to the computer at all times, having meetings all day, none of that. You can work on your own time, doesn't matter what time zone you are. They really value your flexibility and they trust the employee. So since the employee feels so valued and so important and so trusted, they're usually more productive because it's nice to work for a company like that. Another of the benefits of working for a remote first company is that you will be able to work under minimal supervision. So there won't be like micromanaging or anything like that. You will be autonomous. Here are other cool perks that I have seen remote first companies offering. One of them is unlimited vacations. Yes, it might sound too good to be true, but it's true. They actually value your work-life balance so much that they will encourage you to take vacations. They'll pay you for the time in which you are off, and you are going to even be required to have a minimum of time that you have off each year. How cool is that? Remote first companies usually have global teams, and what they do for the employees to meet and bond is that they do annual retreats. So they're going to pay for you to travel somewhere, hang out with your coworkers, meet them in person, and you know what? A free trip is always welcome, at least in my book. Some remote first companies will pay for your equipment and all the software you need to do your job, so you don't have to worry about if you have a laptop that's running or you have the best and most updated software, they'll take care of it for you. A lot of remote first companies are very inclusive and diverse, so you will see things like companies with a majority of females in leadership positions, and that is awesome. Aside from that, you might not have to worry about giving up on the mandatory benefits of your country if you work for a remote first company, because they'll offer all those things like healthcare. In the US, they have 401k. A lot of companies will offer that too. So no worries, you won't lose your essentials that come with a more traditional job. Some remote first companies offer stipends for you to spend on different things, different areas. So maybe they'll give you a $1,000 per year stipend for you to spend on professional growth, meaning like taking online classes or some sort of certification. In some cases, they'll give you a remote work stipend, or they'll call it different ways, but maybe it's money for you to set up your home office, or money for you to, go to a co-working space. In some cases, they'll pay for your internet, your phone bill, and I have also seen like health related stipends, health and wellness, so they might pay for your gym, or like if you need glasses, they'll pay for that. So everything you need in order to be your best self professionally, personally, health-wise, a lot of companies will support you so that you can, be your best and do your best. I have also seen companies that offer stock options or equity in the company as part of like the benefits plan. And I don't know about you, but when a company gives me all these benefits and perks, it shows me that they value me as a person, and I'm more excited to work for them. Now, how do you find jobs at remote first companies? Because I'm sure we all want these kinds of benefits, right? I actually have plenty of resources to help you find these remote first companies. For example, I have a list of companies that are remote first. You can like search through them, click, see what perks they offer, go to their career pages, see what remote jobs they have open at the moment. I also have a course called Land Your First Remote Job, in which I guide you through the whole process of applying to remote jobs, knowing how to avoid the online scams, knowing where to find the legit remote jobs. So if you want to stand out when applying to one of the jobs that you find in these remote first companies, then of course it's going to be competitive. You want to make sure that you're doing it the right way so that you don't waste time applying for a remote job that's not going to call you back for an interview, right? You can start with a free video training I have linked in the description. That's the first step. Go watch that after you are done with this video so that you can get all the steps to start your remote job search. I also have a remote job directory. If you're looking for remote jobs in like big job boards, you have to filter to see which ones are like in person and which ones are remote. But if you go to my remote job directory, you won't have this struggle because all the remote jobs on there are, well, remote. And I update it every Friday. Not all the remote jobs that I post there are from remote first companies, but they are all fully remote. Oh, and if you want to receive all the remote jobs that I post on the remote job directory before they're posted, you can actually subscribe to my newsletter, because I send you a list of remote jobs every Thursday night, and you can find the link to the to subscribe to that in the description too. And do you want to know something else that's really cool about remote first companies? They are actually hiring worldwide. So it doesn't matter where you're from or where you live, you could be working for a remote first company. The cool thing about remote first companies is that since they are fully remote, every department is remote. So a lot of people think that to work remotely, you have to be in certain industries like tech or social media or web development. But the truth is that since these companies are fully remote, they are going to be hiring in all kinds of positions, because everyone from the HR department to the customer service to the accounting to the social media department, they're all remote. So it doesn't matter if you don't have fancy tech skills, you don't have to change your niche or your industry in order to work remotely. Whatever you do now, you can probably find a job that's going to allow you to work remotely. And they also have remote jobs for people in different levels and different parts of their career journeys. So there are entry-level remote jobs. There's also mid-level and senior jobs paying like over 100K per year. So don't worry if you're too inexperienced, you can't find remote jobs for you in remote first companies. And if you're very advanced, you definitely can find something like that. You don't have to take like a pay cut or anything. No worries. Now, should you get obsessed about finding remote jobs only in remote first companies? No, especially if it's your first remote job. You might have to be a little bit flexible, and your first remote job might not be in a company with all the perks and benefits, but maybe one further down the road can be. By the way, I have a video that I made that you can watch after you watch this one, where I talk about first remote jobs and my first remote job and how sometimes they're not as perfect, but you need them in order to start your remote work journey. So had you already heard about remote first companies, or is this the first time you're hearing the term? Remember to check out the list of remote first companies that I have linked in the description. And I also want to know in the comments, let me know if there's a remote first company that you have your eye on. I'm just curious to see what remote first companies out there are popular. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I can know that you are liking this kind of content. And also make sure to click on the little campanita, I don't know where it is, down there, up here, clink, clink, subscribe, so that you do not miss a single one of my videos that are going to be out every Thursday. Ciao!